Have you ever wondered how the Covid-19 pandemic influenced food handling worldwide? Picture this. It's the tail end of 2019, a time of peace and normality. Out of nowhere, a virus that we now know as Covid-19 emerged, casting a long, menacing shadow over the globe. It spread like wildfire, crossing borders, spanning continents, and infiltrating every corner of our lives. The world as we knew it was turned upside down. Suddenly, everyday activities became risky endeavours, and among these, food handling was a significant concern. Food, a basic necessity, a source of comfort, became a potential carrier of the virus. The fear of contamination led to a profound change in how we procured, handled, and consumed our sustenance. We were caught off guard, thrust into a new world order without warning. As we were faced with the unknown, our ways of handling food were about to change dramatically. This is the story of that transformation. When the virus first hit, panic was the first response for many. As the world grappled with an invisible enemy, our everyday routines took a dramatic turn. One of the most notable changes was how we handled our food, both at home and in the food industry. People began panic buying, stockpiling food and essentials as they braced themselves for an unclear future. Supermarket shelves were swept clean of pasta, canned goods and toilet paper, as the fear of the unknown led many to prepare for the worst-case scenario. The sudden surge in demand left supply chains struggling to keep up and highlighted our global reliance on complex and interconnected systems of food production and distribution. In the food industry, the emphasis on sanitization intensified. Restaurants, cafes and food retailers had to quickly adapt to new safety protocols. Food handlers donned masks and gloves, surfaces were sterilized relentlessly, and social distancing became a staple in kitchens and dining areas alike. At home, the way we handled our groceries evolved. Packages were wiped down, fruits and vegetables were washed more thoroughly than ever before, and some even left their groceries to quarantine for a few days. Cooking at home became the norm, as many turned to their kitchens for comfort and control in a world that seemed uncontrollable. But this initial panic and uncertainty also led to innovation and change. We saw the rise of contactless deliveries, online grocery shopping boomed, and many restaurants pivoted to takeaway and delivery services. Food safety took on a new significance, and we became more conscious of where our food came from, how it was handled, and how it was delivered. The food industry demonstrated resilience and adaptability, evolving to meet the unique challenges of a global pandemic. At home, we developed new routines and habits focusing on safety and hygiene in our kitchens. It was a time of great uncertainty, but it also paved the way for new, safer food handling practices. In the face of adversity, we adapted, learning to navigate and thrive in a world reshaped by a pandemic. As the world adjusted to the new reality, so did our food handling procedures. A wave of change swept across the globe, transforming the way we interact with, prepare, and consume food. In the blink of an eye, the pandemic reshaped our everyday routines, and our approach to food was no exception. Our kitchens became the epicenters of safety, hygiene, and nutrition. We began to scrutinize every ingredient, every package, every delivery, with a newfound sense of caution and responsibility. The food industry, too, underwent a metamorphosis. Restaurants, cafes, and food businesses around the world introduced contactless delivery options. This new method allowed us to enjoy our favorite meals without the worry of potential exposure. Delivery personnel, armed with masks, gloves and sanitizers, became our unsung heroes, ensuring that our cravings were satiated safely. But it wasn't just the delivery methods that saw a shift. The industries themselves adopted stricter food safety regulations. Masks and gloves became an integral part of the uniform for food handlers. Sanitizers found their permanent spots on countertops. Temperature checks, routine sanitization, and regular health checkups for staff became the order of the day. Food businesses left no stone unturned in their fight against the virus. We also saw a surge in home cooking. Many individuals, confined to their homes, rediscovered the joy of preparing meals. The internet was flooded with recipes, cooking tips, and food hacks. And as we cooked, we also learned about nutrition, about hygiene, and about the importance of a balanced diet in boosting our immunity. The pandemic, in its own twisted way, has reminded us of the importance of food safety. It has compelled us to reevaluate and rethink our relationship with food. It has taught us that our health, quite literally, is in our hands. These changes, born out of necessity, became our new normal. The pandemic has shown us the strength of adaptability and the power of resilience. And as we continue to navigate this altered landscape, we know that food will always be at the heart of our survival and well-being. In the midst of the global crisis, India stepped up to lend a helping hand. As the world grappled with the pandemic, a nation of over 1 billion people, India, did not shy away from its responsibility towards humanity. India's role in the global fight against COVID-19 has been nothing short of significant. Known as the pharmacy of the world, India harnessed its robust pharmaceutical industry to provide life-saving vaccinations and medical supplies to various countries. India's vaccination production capability is vast, with over 60% of the world's vaccines produced here. When the pandemic struck, India adapted swiftly, ramping up its production to meet the rising global demand. In an act of solidarity, India exported millions of doses to more than 90 countries under its Vaccine Maitri, or Vaccine Friendship initiative. This initiative was not just about providing vaccines, it was a testament to India's commitment to a collective global response against the virus. But India's contribution didn't stop at vaccines. The country also dispatched medical supplies, including masks, ventilators and medicines, to nations grappling with the virus. From the developed nations of the West to the smaller island nations in the Pacific, India's medical aid reached far and wide. India's efforts have not gone unnoticed. The Director General of the World Health Organization lauded India's efforts, acknowledging its pivotal role in the global vaccination drive. India's contribution was not just about numbers, but more about a spirit of global unity and shared responsibility. In the face of a shared crisis, India demonstrated that international cooperation is not just an abstract concept, but a tangible action that can save lives and mitigate suffering. The pandemic has shown us that no nation can stand alone. It is our shared humanity that will see us through. India's efforts were a beacon of hope in these challenging times. India's contribution reminds us that in a world often divided by borders and differences, we can always find common ground in our shared struggles and our collective fight for survival. Now, let's take a look at where we stand today. In the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen resilience and adaptability in action. The vaccination drives have gained momentum worldwide, with India leading by example. The country has not only managed to vaccinate a significant portion of its own population, but has also extended its helping hand to other nations, providing them with vaccines and medical supplies. This act of solidarity, this display of unity in adversity, is a beacon of hope in these challenging times. But it's not just about the vaccines. As we continue to grapple with the virus, we've also learned the importance of safe food handling practices. From the farm to the fork, ensuring the safety of our food supply chain has become a priority like never before. Restaurants, grocery stores, and even our own homes have adapted to this new normal, implementing stringent hygiene standards to keep the virus at bay. Indeed, the challenges persist. The virus continues to mutate and new variants emerge. Vaccine distribution in some regions remains uneven, and the fear of another wave always looms. But these challenges have not deterred us. Instead, they've spurred us on, pushing us to innovate, to adapt, and most importantly, to persevere. The lessons we've learned throughout this pandemic are invaluable. We've realized the strength of our collective action, the importance of science and healthcare, and the need for empathy and kindness. These are lessons that we must carry forward, even when the pandemic is a thing of the past. While the fight against the virus is far from over, we've come a long way. We've learned to live with the virus, to adapt our lifestyles, and to protect ourselves and others. We've seen the power of human resilience, the strength of our global community, and the potential for change and progress that lies within us all. While we continue to fight the virus, we've come a long way and have adapted in ways we never thought possible. So, what have we learned from all this? We've learned that amid a global crisis, adaptability is key. As the pandemic swept across the globe, safe food handling became more crucial than ever. It's a reminder that simple actions, like washing our hands and sanitizing surfaces, can have a profound impact on our health and the health of those around us. We've also seen the power of international cooperation. India, as an example, has shown incredible resolve in these challenging times. The nation has not only managed to maintain a steady vaccination drive internally, but has also reached out a helping hand to the world, sending vaccines and medical supplies across continents. This pandemic has taught us the importance of resilience, adaptability, and global unity. As we continue to navigate these unprecedented times, let's remember these lessons and strive to create a safer, healthier world for all. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe and informed.